Hello Aquarius, I'm Empress Rose and welcome to this week's reading. These are of course very general readings, and so you take what applies, leave what doesn't, that kind of thing. Of course all of these cards are pre-shuffled and prepared and prayed over. It's private for me, so I can do it before I turn on the camera. All right, so we're going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments to get us an intuitive direction for this reading. Right, what's the message we have for Aquarius today? We'll take that. Almost. What other message do we have for Aquarius? What other message do we have? Okay, so we have 4. I don't know why I didn't stop at 2. It's easier to deal with 2, but 2... Yes. Okay. So we have touch the sky. We have daydreaming. We have things you're not talking about, things you're thinking about talking about. You're definitely thinking about talking about something. Your head's in the clouds. You're sort of daydreaming. You're sorting through, I feel like, what you want. You're kind of playing around with ideas and trying them on a little bit and sort of fishing around for ideas of what you want to do next, of that kind of thing. You do have a message that you're keeping to yourself, and you have messages, you're daydreaming about what it would be like to talk about something and what it would be like to share something. Maybe a dream that you're having, or maybe, yeah. So your head's kind of in the clouds, you're kind of dreaming. This keys on trees, this is an elephant up in a tower. You're feeling a little out of sorts, out of place. There's some place that you're at in your life which is making you feel a little discombobulated, maybe a little weird. You can totally get out of this situation though, because you've got these keys on trees and you just got to reach, sort of methodically go through what's going on. How do I get out of this? How did I get into this headspace? How did I get into this life space? And how do I get out of it? You're feeling a little out of sorts and discombobulated. Something's kind of come up and caught you. Some sort of, it could be a thought process. It could be a memory. It could be something that's come in and kind of discombobulated you. It's giving you a different perspective on things, certainly, but you would like to get back to the grounded place you were, just a short time ago. So, the key though to unlocking that and getting you back to where you belong, or back to your comfort zone, lies somewhere around you. Now, when you go back to the comfort zone, you're gonna take the perspective that you had up here, the perspective of the whole jungle, the lay of the land, the different unique perspectives, maybe even, your bird's eye view of things, or you're gonna take this back down with you. This weird place that you're at isn't gonna be completely forgotten and left behind. So, but you will take it forward with you, and you will. There are keys. One of these keys is going to work. It's kind of an annoying situation. You don't know how you got there, but you do have the keys. One of them is going to work. This is kind of like, who the hell put you up there? Like, did you do that? Did you do that while you were daydreaming or exploring and imagining things? Did you put yourself up there? Someone put yourself up there. I mean, and then they got the key. Like, they're not really serious about trapping you. It's just kind of a thing that happened, I guess, where you're just up there, out of sorts, out of your element, and trying to looking at how to get back grounded again. So both of these have sort of a head in the clouds feeling, or up and away, not very grounded. Neither of them have a very grounded feeling. We have a lullaby. So there is no music being played here, and this musician can't even see anything. He's got his top hat covering his eyes. So he's not really, this isn't an intellectual pursuit. This is something of the heart. There's a soulful silence here. You're listening to the music the melody of silence, the music of nature, the music of your own nature, who you are. That's like a deep, I love the cello. That's how it feels to me, is the cello just feels like the nature of my soul. And so this is just sort of listening to that deep intuition. Look at this, we have the water, we have the moon, so we have like a sense of self-reflection going on here, and a deep listening to the silence, and sitting in silence, and having that be a way that you get in touch with. That's the communication, is the silence, your own silence. And you can't see where you're going. You're not seeing. It's not anything happening physically. It's something that's happening, and you could be blind and have your eyes closed, and you'd be seeing, and you'd be hearing, and you'd be reflecting. So this is self-reflection, because self-reflection is something we can do with our eyes closed. A deep meditative state. The song of silence, the sound of silence, something like that. And then we have this butterfly garden. So this is a transformation. Something inside of you has transformed completely and grown, and you're fascinated by it, and you're watching it very carefully. So you're sort of a scientist of yourself, watching yourself grow, and you and this transformation are paying close attention to this beautiful flower that you've grown out of your heart. And so you're watching very carefully. I see a lot of silence in these cards, a dreaminess, and imagining, trying to get yourself out of a situation. But there's dreaming about communication, there's dreaming about music. There's sort of this very this butterfly up on your head is leading to me to really think about things on the mind, things that are going on inside your mind. So I'm not seeing a lot of like external situation here. I'm seeing a lot of this can be an external situation. I get that from this. You might be in a place you've never been before, or it is the same place, but only now the element it's not working for you. So either you've changed or your environment has changed, and either one of those things isn't working for you. And I think you're dreaming about ways to find something else that's going to work for you, where you're not going to feel so trapped, you're not going to feel so discombobulated and out of your element. And I think one of the keys to that is going to be this silence and this deep listening to yourself, and this closing your eyes and going within into some deep silence and reflection, and really watching your thoughts and watching your mind. I think that's going to be one of the keys to getting you out of this place of discombobulation. All right, so now we're going to go to the Santa Muerte Tarot deck. Again, these have been prepared and shuffled. This is just my nervous shuffle before I jump in. All right, so Aquarius, this is your past, this is your present, this is your inner landscape, this is that issue, this is your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Okay. In your recent past, you have this Knight of Cups. You have this threshold that you're passing, that some sort of emotional, instinctive part of you is passing this threshold. Well, the rest of you is looking back, but your heart's already gone, your heart's already moved on. This guy's looking back at the garden that he's leaving. He might be leaving a place of tranquility, to head out into the unknown. He's got a message with him that he's bringing forward, or maybe his journal, an edict, some sort of information that's going to be important someday, and he needs to take with him and make sure he keeps it on him. Anyway, so you've moved forward. You may not even know that you've moved on at this point. You may not even be aware of that yet. But your animal self, your emotional self, your instinctual self has moved forward. You may still be looking at, what you're looking at is the past. Your spirit is moving forward, but what you're looking at is the past. So that's happened in your recent past where you had this experience, and you may still not have realized that your horse already left the garden. The familiarity, the situation where you've been for a long time, your horse may have moved forward. The horse of your spirit, your animal self, the horse of your spirit may have actually already passed this threshold, and you're looking back, maybe taking one last look back at where you come from, or you may still be focused on something, but it's already past. It's already in the past. And it's almost true all the time of our present. Our present is already the past by the time we're thinking about it. By the time we're, focused on it, it's already back there. It's already in the rear view mirror. So in your present situation, I hate this card. This is the Five of Swords. This is possibly one of my least favorite cards. In your present situation, you don't have a good way forward. You're not seeing a good way forward. You've been sort of chased into this canyon by thieves, and then what should you find in the canyon but another band of thieves coming at you from before. So on either side of you, you've got these cliffs boxing you in. You've got a band of thieves coming from behind you, chasing you, and then now you've got one coming before you, and you're in a canyon and you're totally boxed in, and it looks like there is no good way out. This card is saying that there's no good way out. It's kind of a fucked up situation. You're going to have to put in a lot of work. You're going to have to get creative. You're going to have to get methodical, go through key by key by key to find which one of these is going to open the situation. So this is where you're at. My experience with this card is that you're going to end up having to sacrifice something. You got to get very creative about, you're in a moment where you have to get very creative, and you're not going to be able to leave it unscathed. Your choices are going to be, how scathed do you want to leave it, and do you want, what part of yourself needs to change, in sort of a miraculous way, in a way that you've never had to change before. You're going to have to do something you've never done before in order to get out of the situation that you're in. So that's your present situation, is this sense of trapped, of boxed in on either side, and danger coming behind and in front, and you're not seeing a good way out. Your inner landscape, however, so this should help. Your inner landscape is an Ace of Swords. So you've got swords, all over the place here. So that's all about communication, and we have this card here about thinking about communicating, daydreaming about communicating. So you've got swords everywhere, which is about truth, which is about honesty, which is about clarity of thought, of good mental hygiene, clear words, pain. Yeah. So inside you have this Ace of Swords. So this is an epiphany that you're having within. It hasn't shown up outside here, but this could be the epiphany that you're kind of checking out, looking out at, trying to see, trying to understand. This could be the light inside you, this little sliver of light, this moonlight that's inside you. This is an epiphany, understanding a situation with clarity that you haven't seen before. This is a divine clarity. This is a divine insight into your situation, you're in this canyon, and you're having some insight here. You're having some sudden flash of understanding, of seeing the situation very clearly, very sharply, very sharp focus here. Yes, which is what we're seeing here for sure. This very clear understanding suddenly of what this is, what's going on here. And I'm not sure, with your present situation being the Five of Swords, I'm not sure you're understanding how to get out of the situation yet, but I think you're seeing with a new clarity. And so that can be both wonderful and amazing and absolutely freaking terrifying to see a situation suddenly through different eyes or with a different level of clarity. Because what it can do is can highlight how much the situation sucks and how difficult it is going to be to get out of it. But that you're seeing it, that your eyes are opening, and that you're starting to see with a lot of clarity is very good, and is part of a longer journey and a longer passage, and creating getting out of situations or being able to see your way out of something. The first step, of course, is seeing it clearly. So at issue is this Knight of Swords. So in the upright, we'd say, good mental hygiene, being able to control your words and your thoughts. And this is saying that you're not doing a very good job, or one thing that's of controlling your thoughts and good mental hygiene. Like that's an issue that's keeping this back, is a lack of self-control. It might be a lack, because this swallowing a sword, this Knight of Swords, it takes so much self-control and so much focus on keeping your thoughts on track, meditate. This is sort of like this meditation space you've been invited to go into, this deep clarity and silence. And this is saying that there hasn't been a lot of clarity. There hasn't been good mental hygiene, basically. There hasn't been a lot of control over your words, over your thoughts. And I just want to say good mental hygiene is very crucial. There might be somebody in your environment that's causing a problem too, that is very sharp with their words and doesn't use them wisely. So this is a not using your words wisely, not having the good mental hygiene, not having clarity. And this could be coming from you, or this could be someone in your environment. This could be one of these people wielding these swords at you from behind and in front of you, that's just has this sharp object and is using it for ill rather than good. A sharp tongue, a sharp destructive thoughts, that kind of thing. So, and those can permeate you and get inside you. And something about this getting inside you is reminding me of that. These things that are in our environment can get inside of us, and so I think this is both you needing a lack of good mental hygiene for yourself, and that may be being fed by something around you that is sharp and destructive, that is feeding into this mental hygiene, this poor mental hygiene that you may be experiencing. In your environment, you have the Three of Swords. So this is just more heartbreak. This is a conflict. This is something in your environment. So there has been some backstabbing, some grief. One character here is really enjoying stabbing the other character, which I think leads to this being someone in your environment who's very sharp with their words and is toxic with their ideas on you and who you are and how the world works. And this is in your environment. So there's been some real conflict and some real heartbreak. We have one person who's really enjoying the crap out of stabbing someone multiple times in their back, keeping them down, keeping their head bowed. This is sort of like something that was supposed to be a party or a celebration or a gathering of people that love and care for each other. And maybe the alcohol got a little out of control, or just the insecurities ran rampant, and you're one of these people. So you're either really enjoying stabbing someone, or you're sitting there in this absolute defeat with your sword, not wielding it but surrendering it and saying, okay, I give up. I can't fight this anymore. So this is going on in your environment, and it could not even, you don't even have to be one of these characters. It could be two people that or several people that you're living with that are in deep conflict with each other and are causing pain, actively causing pain. So no wonder you're all up in your head here, just daydreaming about yeah, I'm seeing this like you're silent, or you're keeping quiet, and you're keeping some thoughts to yourself, and you're daydreaming about sharing them. So it could be someone else who's been bringing these toxic thoughts and toxic words and destruction. But that doesn't release you from the responsibility of good mental hygiene and making sure you're making sure you're doing what you can to not take in these toxic ideas about yourself and about the world and how everything works and blah, 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 taking that in. So your environment seems just to be full of heartache and pain, and somebody that likes causing pain. So in your to-do list is this Hierophant. So this is seeking for messages. This is a retreat, a little bit of a retreat, but it's a retreat that's full of blossoms, that's full of serenity, bringing some serenity into your mind, which I'm seeing here too. I'm seeing the same color blossoms here, so I think that you're sitting, hip deep in this lush flowers of sort of yourself and your own growth, and you're tuning into that, and you're tuning into messages. Here he's working a Ouija board, so there's some sort of spirituality that you're getting in touch with, and that you're getting in touch with the spirituality within yourself. This is well supported by your ancestors. This is bringing some light to your situation. It is a sanctuary, a retreat. You need to retreat from this situation and come into some sort of calmness and contact with your spirituality and with your spiritual path. I sometimes see this as like a guide for you, but I'm thinking I'm seeing this as you are going to be your own guide moving forward with this. And this is, to me, a very similar message to this. These dark, shadowy areas within ourselves, we seek in silence, and we can come to these places within ourselves and find the messages that we're needing right there. So I think that's in your to-do list, is to get in contact with your spirituality, get in contact with your higher self, your spiritual self. I wonder what these two fingers up, he's what is it? It's his right hand. He's like that. I can barely do that. Anyway, so yeah, that's your to-do list, is really getting in touch with the spiritual guidance that you have within you, and the spiritual guidance that you may have in your ancestry, but definitely finding a sanctuary through all these, in this whole swords spread. My God, this is like swords, and you're supposed to find a sanctuary within that to help yourself grow. Find this flower that you're growing from within. This transformation starts with a deep connection to your spirituality. Possible outcomes is this strength. You're going to have the strength to wrestle this demon to the ground. You're going to have this strength, this unwieldy, wild, crazy thing, this mouth. So I'm seeing so much with these sharp words here and sharpness. And here you've got your hands in the mouth of this lion, this dragon, and you're clamping down on the mouth. So you're gonna be able to find the strength. This is one of the possible outcomes, that you do find the strength to silence these thoughts, to silence these destructive ideas about who you are and how the world works. And you're going to be able to find the strength to do that. That is within you. You might even find some pleasure in being able to wrestle this demon to the ground and being able to find the key that unlocks this situation where you're trapped and locked away, to be able to open up this flower also, and grow and thrive. So you will have the strength to conquer these demons, inner and this external situation. I'm not sure what I mean by conquer, though. I'm not sure that I mean like, controlling your environment. I'm not sure that I mean that. It might be that where you get to have some control over your environment and some say. More say than what this dragon has had. But it also might be finding the strength within to somehow deal with these swords and somehow deal with what's going on in your environment. Finding the strength to go key by key. Finding the strength to express what you find in the silence. You know, finding the strength to be in touch with something inside you. And this will also translate into having more strength to endure some of the situations that you are clearly in. So Aquarius, I hope that you have a wonderful week. And thank you so much for liking and commenting and subscribing to my channel and these videos, and helping to expand and helping to grow my adorable little baby channel week by week. I really appreciate it. Thank you.